All right, everybody. Welcome back to NACA Journey CA. My name is Will, and today's video is NACA Step 3, Home Buyers Workshop Completion Email and Receiving Your NACA ID. And this is what happens after successfully completing the NACA Home Buyer Workshop. Quick disclaimer before we get started. I am reading from a script during parts of this video because I want to make sure I give accurate information and don't miss any important steps. I appreciate your understanding. Also, I am not affiliated with or employed by NACA. I'm simply documenting and sharing my personal experience going through the NACA home buying process step by step. Now, in the previous video, we talked about the workshop confirmation email that you receive after registering for the NACA home buyer workshop. But in this video, we're moving into the next phase of the process. This is the actual email I personally received after successfully completing the NACA Homebuyer Workshop. And this email is important because this is where you officially receive your NACA ID and gain access to move forward inside the NACA Member Portal. So let's get started. All right. So this right here is the Home Buyers Workshop completion email that I received after finishing the NACA Home Buyer Workshop. Now, I did redact certain personal information for privacy and security reasons, but your email should look very similar to this. And honestly, this is a pretty exciting step in the process because this is where things begin to move from simply attending the workshop into actively entering the NACA program itself. Now, right here is probably the most important part of this email. This is where you receive your official NACA ID. And your NACA ID is extremely important because this is what gives you access to the NACA Member Portal throughout the process moving forward. So once you receive this email and your NACA ID, you officially gain access to begin the next major stage of the process. Now, according to the email, your next step is completing what NACA calls the pre-counseling section inside the member portal. And before you can schedule your intake counseling appointment with a HUD-certified NACA counselor, you first need to complete this pre-counseling portion. This is where you'll begin entering detailed financial information and uploading documents related to your specific situation. So this is really where the documentation side of the process starts becoming more important. Now, this section right here is very important. NACA explains that the pre-counseling process includes multiple sections requiring information from everyone in the household based on their individual circumstances. So if you have a co-borrower, spouse, partner, or another person who will be part of the process, their information may also need to be included as part of the application and documentation process. And honestly, one thing I'm personally learning during this journey is that organization is extremely important. So if you're considering going through NACA, I would highly recommend organizing your documents early, staying patient, and taking your time entering information accurately. The email also mentions that NACA offers additional support resources, including live support webinars, phone support, and even local office assistance if you need access to a computer or scanner. So there are support options available if needed during the process. Now, once you've completed the pre-counseling section inside the member portal, you can then move forward with scheduling your counseling appointment. The email also mentions that if appointments are limited, you can place yourself on the waiting list. And if you're flexible with your availability, you may be able to get an appointment within a few weeks. So, overall, this email is basically your confirmation that you completed the workshop, received your official NACA ID, gained access to the member portal, and officially entered the next phase of the NACA home buying process. And again, I'm documenting this journey in real time as I personally go through the process myself. In the next video, we're going to move even deeper into the NACA process by going directly inside the member portal itself. We'll go section by section and discuss what information needs to be filled out, what documents are required, how to stay organized, and what to expect as you move through the pre-counseling portion of the process. So if you're considering starting the NACA program or currently going through it yourself, make sure to subscribe and follow along because we're going through this process step by step together. Disclaimer: I am not affiliated with or employed by NACA. I am simply sharing my personal experience for educational and informational purposes only. If this video helped you, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow along as we continue documenting each step of the NACA process step by step.